Okay, we're back in Python and we're going to put the code in that we wrote the pseudocode for. Now you did it as a flowchart, which is okay, but then we wrote out the pseudocode, which I think is a bit more useful because it's almost giving you your program statements that you can use. So I did tell you to either make a copy or take a screenshot of it so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just going to program it in. I'm going to program it. It's now the main part of the program. It's the first time we haven't started it off with def, okay, and it's going to go below all of the defs. This is going to grow in size as our program grows, but this basically will stay the same size. It's just a small piece of program which makes the whole thing work. So the first thing that we did was we had a variable called board size and we set that to 10. Now when we did the pseudocode, we used an arrow rather than the equal sign. The arrow meant that it was for any language. This is for Python, so we use the equal sign. It's pretty much the same in all languages. The next thing we did was show menu. Okay, so we're now showing the user the menu, and then we're getting what the selection was, the choice that the user made. Now, if you remember, we created a variable called choice so that we could hold the results of what happens when they actually make their choice. Then we went into the while loop. While. Now here I used some strange language. I used the greater and the less than sign, which to me means is different too, but it's not Python. It's useful in other languages, that would work, but in Python we don't use the less than and greater than signs. We use the exclamation mark and the equals to say is not equal to. So this says while choice is not equal to 3, and again I wrote do in my pseudocode. We don't need that. Instead of do, we put a colon. Other languages might require braces or even the word do. So while choice is not equal to 3, then it's going to indent. Then we went through our if statements. So we started off with if the choice, and I used the words is equal to. Again, that was language independent, so that we didn't have to think about what language we were using. In Python, as in most languages, saying is equal to is just the double equal sign. So if choice is equal to 1, and I use the word then in my pseudocode, which is replaced with the colon in Python. Again, Visual Basic and other programs might use the word then, so that's fine. Some might just use an open and close curly brace, but Python uses the colon. So if choice is then, and it will indent. What we wanted to do was play game. Now all of these functions have been written above. Okay, in particular we've written this play game. As you can see, I've already put board size in there. Let me just take that out for a second and I'll show you what I mean. That was how it started, def play game, and when I wrote the pseudocode I said that you had to pass in the size of the board, because we set the size of the board to 10 here, so we need to pass it in to the function board size for playing games, so the game knows what size board we're playing, because later on we might have a bigger or a smaller board. If we do that, we have also got to, in play game, have a variable. Now it could be B, it could be anything you like, it doesn't have to be the same word. I'm going to use the same word just for convenience and to make it easy to read, but more often than not this word here and this word can be totally different, and usually are. So I'm going to type in board size there. So now this function here understands that it's going to take in board size and it's going to do something with that board size. Okay, so there we go, we've played game board size. The next one we had to do was work out when the choice was 2. So if choice is equal to 2, then we wanted to change the board size. Now again, this was rather like the get choice one, where they're going to choose a different board size. When they've done it, it's going to be saved in board size, and we're going to write it like this: board size equals get new size, and that's it. So get new size will ask the player what size they want. It could be 5, it could be 12, but whatever it is, it's going to pass it back out and it's going to store it in this variable here. And the reason it's going to do that is for the next line. We're then going to do exactly the same as we did here, play game, but this time with the new board size. Okay, so we've now got play game with the basic board size, play game with the new board size. And it's going to stay at the new board size until we change it again by choosing number 2. Right, so that is my if statements worked out. The last thing I needed to do, as we said in the pseudocode, was come back to this show menu and choice, because it's only going to happen before the while loop, okay, and it's just going to ask me what the choice was, but it's never ever going to show me the menu again. It's above the while loop. It's never going to show me the menu again, and it's never going to get another user choice. So we have to write that in there to complete the loop. So I'm going to type show menu, just exactly as we wrote above, choice equals get choice, job done. That is the end of my while loop. And remember, we just did one more thing after it, just to let us know that we'd chosen 3 and we could follow the route through. We wrote out, which is print, thanks for playing. Now we can tell if we've pressed 3 and whether we've got out. So I'm going to save that, file and save. Okay, and in the next video I'm going to test this little thing, see whether it works or not.